With Outer Banks being less than a month away, I thought I had to come up with a Season 3 theory that was at least intriguing, and I think this is just that. And it's about John B's dad, aka Big John. What if I told you that Big John isn't necessarily a good guy? Now, that might sound crazy considering John B has spent the last 2 seasons looking for his dad, you know, thinking that he's the hero that he envisioned him as. But in this theory, he is not the hero. In fact, he is sorta a villain. Not like as bad as Ward, but sorta in the same way. Before we get into it, guys, be sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment, saying about or talking about your favorite Outer Banks theories. Who you think is going to end up in the end games. I know you guys like the ships in the Outer Banks. Who do you think is going to end up together romantic wise? And if you have any other theories on who's going to die, a lot of people think people are going to die. I have a few theories about that as well. And if you guys want me to come up with more theories and post more theories along the way up until the release of Outer Banks Season 3, let me know in the comments. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get into this. You know, this interesting theory about how John B's dad, aka Big John, could potentially be sort of a villain in Season 3. So just to give you guys a refresher, at the end of Season 2, the last scene that we seen before it rolled to the credits was John B talking to Carla Limbri. And it was revealed that, or not John B, Big John, John B's dad. It was revealed that Big John was actually alive, aka John B's dad, right? And it had everybody just freaking out. Yeah, you know, social media was just going crazy. But if you listen to what he said, it honestly kind of portrayed him as like not necessarily the big, you know, hero that John B has always talked about his dad being, right? Like Carla Limbri went up to John B's dad and said, "I need the shroud or I'm gonna die," essentially, right? And Big John said that he knows where the shroud is. But if she wants it, she's going to have to help his son, right? It wasn't really like a, oh my God, Big John's alive. It was more like, okay, this guy seems to know everything, but is making someone do something to even get, something to save her life. Basically, like threatening her, if you don't help my son, you're gonna die. Essentially, right? That's basically what happened. So it got me thinking. Okay, well, maybe Carla Limbri like did something to betray Big John that he doesn't really want to help her in the first place, or maybe he's a bad guy like I'm about to explain here. So here's my theory. I think that Big John and John B are obviously gonna meet up. We already know that's gonna happen, right? That's clearly what's gonna happen. It has to happen, right? So whenever Big John and John B meet up, it's gonna be this awesome reunion, blah 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 blah. But I think it's going to be sort of like the Rafe and Ward relationship. Obviously not to that extent because John B, he's a good guy and Rafe is not. Maybe he will be in Season 3 though. We can talk about that in another theory. But I think that Big John and John B are going to be in a situation to where they're going to sort of separate themselves from the Pogues gradually. Like Big John's sort of going to make it known that he wants to kind of like, bond with his son again and go for the gold. Right, and I feel like it's going to be a situation to where like Big John's going to make it seem like the Pogues are still involved, but once they find the gold, Big John's going to ask John B, or like sort of like tell him and express to him that like, let's take this and run, right? Leave your friends behind. So I think that what's going to happen is at the end of Season 3, John B's going to have a decision to make. Go with your dad with the gold, 2 things that you've been looking for this entire time, and go off and ride into the sunset and leave your friends, or leave your dad who wants to leave with you with the gold and stay with your friends who's been with you throughout this entire time. And it's going to be sort of like this thing to where I think it's going to be this thing to where it's going to be like a realization for John B, and he's going to be like, wow, I really just spent the last whatever years of my life looking for my dad when in reality all he wanted was the gold in the first place. And, he wasn't like this big hero that I imagined him as. You know what I'm saying? Like, sort of like the Ward thing. Ward just wants to find the gold with his son and go off, right? I feel like John B's dad might be in a similar situation to that. Not in like a villain, not in like a total villain way. Like, he's not going to want to kill John B's friends or like he's going to want to betray them, but not like kill them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to express to you guys like what I think is going to happen. Like, John B's gonna have to make a decision: friends or his dad. And I feel like that's going to leave us off with a cliffhanger at the end of season 3 going into season 4. I feel like there will be a season 4. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. But I feel like this makes a lot of sense. I feel like that'd be a good plot twist as well. Like, oh, Big John isn't this awesome hero that's going to help John B find the gold and their friends, and they're all going to be happy. Like, Big John's going to want to leave with John B in the gold and leave his friends behind. And then John B's going to have to decide. Obviously, he's going to choose the Pogues. We already know that. But it's just a theory. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you think this is, like, realistic. I hope I explained it in a way to where you guys could understand it. I know I kind of like jumped around there a little bit, but to me, it makes perfect sense. Honestly, it'd be a solid plot twist that wouldn't like ruin the storyline, but it would also like it would kind of like make the stakes a little bit higher. You know, get us a little bit more stressed. Even though I was stressed in season 2 with what they were doing, it would be one of those storylines that were like, you know, oh my god, what's gonna happen in season 4? It'd be like. The stress levels would be higher, and I feel like it would get a lot of people thinking, making theories and all that stuff. Is John B going to go with his dad, or he's going to stay with his friends? Which side is he going to choose? And it's going to be this whole entire storyline, along with all the romantic storylines and drama. So I feel like season 3 is honestly going to be the best season. Like, seriously, I think it is. Like, without a doubt. And I feel like Big John is going to play a role in that. And I feel like this could be a role that he plays. But who knows? Maybe Big John is the hero that John B always envisioned him as, and he's going to help them survive and find the gold, and they're going to live happily ever after. I feel like they'd just be a little bit too cookie cutter for me and a little bit too boring. So, of course, the theorist that I am, I have to make a theory about it. But let me know what you guys think about this, and if you think it's possible. And obviously, like I said, let me know if you have any other theories. I know I've seen some theories about Topper dying. And I think I want to look into that a little bit more and see like his actions throughout the last 2 seasons. Because obviously, like season 1, he was sort of like Rafe or whatever. He was friends with Rafe, or you know, he was like on that same villain type role. And then season 2, he sort of started to redeem himself. I feel like we could easily see a storyline to where he tries to sacrifice himself for someone or something, and then ends up dying and dies a hero for the group and saves the Pogues. I feel like that's something that could easily happen, a little bit too predictable, but it would also be a good storyline and a perfectly written character, in my opinion. I think Topper could die in season 3. And I do think that there needs to be a death. Not necessarily a Pogue death. It's sort of like the Stranger Things thing, right? I feel like if someone dies, it has to be like at the end, because they went through all this, and then like if someone dies in the middle, it's going to be like, oh, whatever. Like maybe someone dies at the end or gets hurt or like gets sent away or something. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the storyline. But I can't see a Pogue dying in the middle of a storyline. I feel like that would kind of ruin the show. But I do think someone like a side character like Topper does need to die. But only time will tell, guys. Only time will tell. Like I said, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications. I do post theories like this on my TikTok, my Instagram, and I post it on Shorts as well, on YouTube Shorts. If you want to join my Discord, click the link in my bio. We talk about Stranger Things theories, Outer Banks theories, any theories about active TV shows we talk about in that Discord, so make sure to join that link in bio, or link in description. And I appreciate you guys watching this video. Be sure to have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.